A lot just happened with Avengers Doomsday. Marvel has officially dropped the Avengers Doomsday countdown clock on their YouTube channel, and it's live. And it makes you wonder if they're going to keep that there until the movie comes out more than 11 months from now. The Russo brothers and Marvel Studios also just dropped the fourth teaser trailer, or I guess we can't actually call it a teaser trailer now that the Russo brothers aren't calling it that, but they dropped the fourth teaser for Avengers Doomsday that has the Fantastic Four, or at least the thing from the Fantastic Four, meeting Shuri and M'Baku, and the Talikans are there as well. But the Russo brothers gave us a very specific message today. They said, what you've been watching for the last 4 weeks are not teasers or trailers. They are stories. They are clues, ... Pay attention. Now, there's a lot of theories going around out there what these could be about, and I have a really great one that I want to go over today, but I will also put this disclaimer. The Russo brothers do this sometimes, and it doesn't ultimately lead to some things sometimes. Now, I'm sure these are teasers, right? Say what you want, but they're teasing us for the movie is exactly what they're doing. I do not believe, however, that these are trailers. These are just clips from the movie, or at least that's what we think they are. And then, of course, we are going to get an actual trailer. We might actually get more of these. More trailers have been registered to be rated, and more have been rated. We have 7 so far. Some people say that those aren't actually going to be trailers. They could be something else. They could be full trailers that they submitted to be rated. But if we hear anything else about that, we'll be sure to do an update. At the same time, some people are stating that there is a glitch at the countdown clock at the end of each one of these. I'll just call them teasers for now. We won't call them trailers, but they're teasers. And maybe that's the clue. I actually don't think those are the clues. I actually think the clues are when you look at all of the trailers together, because the Russo brothers have waited till the fourth one released to say this. They could have said this all along, but they waited till the fourth one to say what you've been watching for the last 4 weeks are not teasers or trailers. They are stories, they're clues. Pay attention. So what exactly do we find when we pay attention? Well, let's go ahead and just go over what these trailers have been so far. In case you've missed it, the first one is the return of Steve Rogers. Now, when they talked about the return of Steve Rogers, when they released the teaser, can't say trailer now, they say the character that changed our lives, the story that brought us all here together, it was always going to come back to this. Then we got Thor. And they said, when even a god has to pray for strength, hashtag fear doom. And I've always liked that hashtag since they've used it. Then we got the X-Men one. And they said, who will you be when you close your eyes? And I actually think that is a clue for what is happening in this trailer and overall as well. Hashtag fear doom. And then, of course, the one that we got today, it says Doomsday has begun. And I actually think this might be a clue as to what we're going to see in Avengers Doomsday. So scaling back a little bit, this is a really cool theory that I like. I'm going to say one part of it first. The newest trailer that we got today, we did a breakdown on this when we got the leaked footage. You can check that out. It's on the channel. But when we got this, I found it very odd that we saw that ancient, what seemed to be Talikan temple above water in the desert. Some people now believe that this might actually be the Void. And I find that very curious. It's very interesting because of the theory about what each trailer represents that I'm about to go over, but keep that in mind. So if we scale back a little bit, this is what we can kind of see. The first trailer about Steve Rogers, it shows him, well, first of all, it shows us Chris Evans is returning as Steve Rogers, and Steve Rogers is returning in Avengers Doomsday, but it specifically shows us him with a child. So this would be birth, right? So the first one, the theme of it could be birth. The next one is Thor. He is with a full-grown child at this point, his daughter Love. And he's praying to his father, and it's about to survive so he can be with his child again. The next one is the X-Men one. The stuff's going down in the X-Men one, right? We only see a little bit of it, but the X-Mansion seems pretty vacant. right? We see Professor X, we see Magneto, but it seems vacant. It's pretty beat up. It does look like the Sentinels might have attacked it a little bit, but then the Cyclops scene, this we see two Sentinels behind him. It looks like a lot is destroyed, and a lot of people have been theorizing, and I believe this as well, that there's some editing going on in this trailer, and that perhaps like Jean Grey has actually died. She's sitting there in front of Cyclops, and that's why he freaks out, takes off the visor, and just goes goes bananas. I'm with that. I'm with that. So the third one would be death. So the first one, life, birth. The second one, child. The third one, death. And if we're keeping to the children's theme, maybe Cyclops loses a child. Maybe it's Nathan, Rachel, Hope. We don't know. Could still be Jean. But if they're sticking with the child, he might lose a child. But then the fourth one, afterlife. Again, going back to what we saw before, this might actually be the void. So not necessarily specific deaths of specific characters, although that would come, but the afterlife would essentially be, I think, the void. We've been talking about this for a while. If Doom actually makes Battleworld out of the remnants of a lot of different universes, and it's not the void itself, then the void is probably going to be where a lot of the heroes go to essentially survive the end of the multiverse. And that makes sense because the TVA right now, with Loki in charge, they're good, right? They're good. We have Mobius, we have B-15, like everybody there is good. They would want to save probably as many people as they can by taking them to the void because they know about the void, right? And Doom is going to attack the TVA, so they're probably also going to evacuate the people from the TVA to the void as well. So the afterlife could literally be the void. And it is the afterlife. It's after the multiverse gets completely destroyed. And then you'll have the people who are on Battleworld who they don't remember anything in the past. That's how it is in the comics. That's how I believe that's how it's going to go down because we've seen that leaked concept art of Doom on his throne with Doctor Strange by his side and then Sue Storm and Franklin Richards on his other side. I don't think they remember what happened before. That's what I believe. I think Doctor Strange does because in the comics he does. He joins Doom willingly. So when Battleworld is created, he gets to remember everything from the past. But then there are people in life rafts who eventually pop up and they remember everything. And that's where everything kind of starts to fall apart for Doom. I believe the life raft is basically going to be the void. If Battleworld is not the void, then the void will be essentially a life raft. So that essentially brings us to that next part, afterlife. I do think these are pretty good themes of what these teasers are about. Birth, child, death, afterlife. So birth, kind of the middle, death, and then the afterlife. Stages of life, really. It makes sense. And what this could imply is that we might get into Battleworld a lot quicker than we thought in Avengers Doomsday. That is kind of the feeling that I have right now with what the Russos have recently been saying. It also makes me think that maybe these are kind of scenes that aren't going to be in the movie that might be required watching before you get into the film. The only kickback I have against this is that it would be, I think, a lot to expect people to watch all of these before they go watch Avengers Doomsday. Yes, they're online. Yes, they've showed in front of Avatar, Fire and Ash, but to expect people to have seen these scenes, I think is a bit much. However, do they mean that much? Well, yes and no. Like, to know that Steve Rogers is returning, that's a lot, but you can also explain that in the movie. Same thing with Thor, although I really love that prayer. It's very poetic, and I think that should remain in the movie. There's a chance that these actually might not be in the movie, that they are just teasing us despite what the Russos say. And that is another thing that I will say. I do like birth, regular life, or child, death, afterlife. I do like that, and I do think that is the theme that is going on here. And I do think, no matter what, Doomsday does end with the multiverse being destroyed or afterlife. I do think these are legitimate clues that these trailers are giving to us. But like I said, at the same time, the Russo brothers do tend to tease things, and sometimes they don't amount to anything, right? Remember the look harder one for Infinity War and Endgame? or I guess it was just an end game. We never really found out what that was. We thought it might have been the title. We don't know. The same, they've already done the same thing for Doomsday. The look harder. They're never probably going to reveal that. This might be the same thing. It's just something to get us excited, to get us hyped, to get us looking into it, to get us talking about it online, because make no mistake, part of the marketing for Avengers Doomsday is them relying on people like me, Real Rejects, Heavy Spoilers, Screen Crush, all my buddies like that, to do videos like this. So this is a part of it, for sure. And it's smart, because we're going to talk about this for a bit, right? We do videos about Avengers Doomsday basically every day. We're SpiderMan or something, right? We're talking about it every day. So it's pretty genius. So they are clues. They are telling us what's going to happen in the movie. A lot of it I do think has to do with Doom. Maybe he is after, kind of children. And then in the last one, in Wakanda, I believe he's there. John Campea on the show, a couple people were talking, and it seemed like they were really hinting that Doom was there, but Campea stopped them from actually saying it. But that's what it seemed like they were hinting at. I thought so as well. You can feel kind of like an ominous presence there. And Shuri, when she's doing the Wakanda Forever at the end, I think she might be looking at Doom. I think this is Doom convincing them to go fight another superhero team. So I think the clues are what we know is going to happen in the story. Steve Rogers is going to return. Thor is going to fight Doom, and he loses, so he prays to Odin the next time he tries to fight him. Doom is going to attack the X-Men with the Sentinels, and then Doom is going to mislead our heroes of Earth. Those could very well be the clues, and the Russo brothers want us to look just a lot more into it. But I also do like birth, child, death, afterlife. I think those are legitimate clues as well. No matter what, I think those happen. Sadly, I do think some X-Men die in that third trailer. It could be Jean. I hope it's not a child of Cyclops, but you never know. But the last thing I want to talk about, and I would love to know all of your thoughts and theories in the comments below, please, about what these the clues could be from the Russo brothers. But the last thing is this countdown clock. It's live, like I said. I don't think they're going to keep this live for 11 months, 4 days, 11 hours, and 46 minutes as of recording this video. I think this will be interrupted at some point in time, most likely by the real full official trailer. Because I don't think the Marvel Entertainment Channel is just going to stay live for a year, right? They do live stuff sometimes, and I'm sure they have that planned this year as well. I'm sure they have Doomsday stuff that they want to go live for before the movie comes out. So something's going to happen here. We've seen the trailers glitch before, and actually, I think those are clues about this. I think this will eventually glitch, and something's going to happen. An event is going to happen on the Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel. That's what I believe is going to happen. I don't believe at all, like not even in the slightest, that this is going to stay live for a year. I don't. And they would have to have, you literally couldn't post a YouTube video that's not live to do this, right? So something's going to glitch, and they're going to give us the first full official teaser or the first full trailer. It's not a teaser, just a full one. Or something's going to go down. They're going to do another event, like a chair event. They're going to do something. And that's when this is going to glitch, and that's when this is going to end. I do believe something like that is going to happen, because there's just no way this stays live for a year. It is counting down to the actual movie, and I don't think that happens. Originally, when the first teaser for Steve Rogers got leaked, it did not say 12 months. It did not say 11 months. It said 6. It was counting down to what I think would be the full trailer, not the teaser, but the full trailer. So I think at some point in time, this could stay up for months, but I don't think it stays up for a year. And I think it glitches, and something that Doom does affects it. I think they're going to kind of bring the movie into real life, which I think is really incredible marketing. That is kind of what they're trying to do with these teasers, clues, right? So something's going to go down. If you want to keep up to date with everything, we cover this every single day. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'd love for you to join the Cosmic Crew. So thanks for watching today. Be sure to let me know all of your thoughts about all of this, because it is a lot. I would love to hear your theories. Be sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. You can also find us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.